The Raiders add a former Super Bowl and Pro Bowl linebacker to the roster. Hunter Renfrow could return to the silver and black. Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders starting to heat up. And what's taking Geno Smith so long to officially sign with the Raiders? Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Samoa Raider, back at it again with yet another video. If this is the very first time you guys are coming across this channel and you love daily Raider content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. We are almost 2,000 away from 50K. So if you guys haven't already, man, hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. With that being said, let's get right into the news, man. But first thing being first, some breaking news. According to Jordan Schultz, the Raiders are signing veteran linebacker Devin White to a one-year deal. Raiders GM John Spytek drafted White in Tampa Bay and now reunites with him in Las Vegas. White, just 27 years old, began the 2024 season with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he didn't appear in a game with the Eagles before being cut. Then landed in Houston, where he recorded 19 total tackles in 7 games last season. Now, White early on in his career made a statement in 2021, becoming a Pro Bowler, and throughout his whole career totaling 585 tackles, 23 sacks, 64 quarterback hits, 3 interceptions, and 21 pass breakups. Devin White has the talent and pedigree to be a strong contributor for the Raiders. He's a former Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and Super Bowl champion, but his recent production has been inconsistent. The Raiders are banking on his previous high-level play and familiarity with GM John Spytek and minority owner Tom Brady have with him from his time in Tampa Bay. I would definitely say that I do love the addition and bringing Devin White over here to Las Vegas, simply for the fact that the Raiders need more depth at the linebacker position, and Devin White is not only just a big name, but somebody that can contribute on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I'm not going to let all of that and even his name kind of get me overhyped with the signing, because recently we haven't seen much out of him. And the fact that he was with the Eagles, got cut from them, and last year with the Texans didn't really do much for them. I can't just expect them to come over here to Las Vegas and just turn around and become a great Pro Bowl linebacker. Now, anything can happen, and if there's anybody in the NFL that can coach him up and bring the best out of him, I believe that would be Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham, but that's yet to be seen. Now, I do like the fact that the Raiders are bringing him in on a low risk, high reward type of deal. So at the end of the day, it's great to see that Devin White will be coming over here to Las Vegas and donning the silver and black, which he should have definitely been a Raider a long time ago when we drafted Clelin Ferrell. But you know what? That's besides the point. Better late than never, right? But never late is always better. With that said though, Raider Nation, what are your thoughts on Devin White joining the Las Vegas Raiders? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's go. Now, according to Ian Rappaport, he broke the news this morning saying, comeback former Raiders wide receiver Hunter Renfrow, who did not play football last year but still is 29 years old, is visiting his old team, the Raiders, today, per me and Tom Pelissero. The SC native also visited with the Panthers Wednesday and could do more. He plans to play in 2025. Now, this is really kind of funny because a lot of people just recently were wondering what is going on with Hunter Renfrow. Where is he at? It's kind of surprising that he's not with any team, just to find out that he was helping his brother with his recycling company, and everybody kind of took that and made it viral and thought that he was going to retire. For him to just come out and say, I never said I was going to retire. Fast forward to now, it really seems like a movie. Hunter Renfrow is looking to return to football in 2025, just when the Raiders could use some more depth at the wide receiver position. And Hunter would be a perfect fit for what the Raiders need. Still just 29 years old, he won't be a wide receiver 1, but he could be a solid wide receiver 3 or 4, playing in the slot and competing with Trey Tucker. And he would most likely be in the role that I thought Tyler Lockett would be if we were to bring him in over here. Now, the last time we actually seen Hunter Renfrow, he was still routing dudes up in the league, but the main concern was his fumbling issues, especially after suffering a concussion. Hopefully all of that is behind him and he gets back to the way he was before, and one of the main reasons why a lot of Raider fans loved him and called him Third and Renfrow. Hopefully he could be a reliable wide receiver, and if we were to bring him over here to Las Vegas, I wouldn't mind it at all. Throughout his 5-year career with the Silver and Black, he's totaled 269 receptions, 2,884 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Given that the Raiders haven't really addressed the wide receiver position in free agency, Renfrow would have a chance to come in and contribute immediately under new head coach Pete Carroll. So, big question is, would I be open to bringing back Hunter Renfrow to the Silver and Black? Simple answer is Hell yeah. I don't really think that it would hurt at all to bring him back. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that expensive. And he's the type of wide receiver that I feel like can flourish under Pete Carroll and even Chip Kelly's system. Now, the expectations are not going to be high for him to come back and go out there and ball out. But as far as a dependable receiver that could come in and still catch some reliable balls on third down, hopefully, and not drop any balls, then I feel like he would be the perfect fit for the Raiders as of right now. And the Raiders could address the wide receiver 1 position in the NFL draft. So having Trey Tucker, having Jacoby Myers, having Hunter Renfrow play primarily in the slot, and then you go add somebody like T-Mac in the draft, woo-wee! I'd be down for that, man. But Raider Nation, man, let me know what your thoughts are on Hunter Renfrow. Would you guys definitely want him back, or are you guys past that and want to move forward and find somebody else? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, moving on, I want to talk about a guy that a lot of people have been hyped up, especially in the draft. Obviously, there's no secret that the Raiders need an RB1, which is why so many people and analysts have the Raiders mocked to getting Boise State's Ashton Jeanty. And it seems like the Raiders may feel the same way. Possibly. As of late, Raiders GM John Spytek was in attendance for Boise State's Pro Day, primarily to scout Ashton Jeanty. He even got a chance to speak with Boise State's coach Spencer Danielson. And when most teams would just send their position coach out to these pro days, John Spytek made it a priority to go out there and scout the #1 running back himself, which really says a lot about how this team feels about Ashton Jeanty, and maybe even at number 6. Now, Jeanty didn't end up running the 40, which I don't think is a real big deal, but nonetheless, he looked impressive throughout his whole pro day, showing his quickness, agility, and most importantly, his receiving ability out of the backfield. And to add on to that, it seems like Jeanty wanted to set the record straight, letting people know that he could still do both out the backfield, catching and running the ball, saying, I feel like people aren't talking about my pass catching because I didn't have such a big year in the receiving game. And that's just the type of offense we ran. We ran a pro style offense. So that's just how it is, right? But like you said, in 2023, I was the leading receiver at running back. And I still think that there's a lot of improvement I can have in my game. Not just from a receiving standpoint, but a rushing standpoint. But as I transition into the NFL, I definitely would like to be used in each and every aspect of the game, being that I'm so versatile, which I can definitely respect from Ashton Jeanty's point of view. If he can go into the NFL and be that every down back that any team would love to have, especially even the Raiders, then I think that goes a far way in possibly drafting him and maybe his draft stock rising more than it has been already. And I know that has been the biggest knock on him so far is the fact that he can't catch the ball. But the fact that he went out there, stated it, and let people know that he can do both, I think is going to definitely raise a lot of eyebrows. And hopefully we'll see what happens in the next level, whether he goes to the Raiders or any of these other teams. With that said, though, Jeanty was asked about the Raiders and what he thought about them, and this is what he had to say.
What do you know about the Raiders? I mean, they are the one organization that they sent their GM here today to check you out.
Yeah, I mean, great organization. I mean, they got a few pieces. I know they could use a running back, so they got that nice pick number 6. So we'll see what happens. But it's been great meeting with them, reading with the running back coach, and so it's cool that he came out all this way to meet with me.
Who knows, man? Possibly come next month, we might have the running back of the future in the silver and black. It's just a matter of time, but it seems like he's open to any possibility because I'm sure he is. And knowing that we have the number 6 pick overall, he would be the #1 running back out of the draft, which I definitely see happening. And knowing that the Raiders need a running back right now and it's only getting closer, I know a lot of Raider fans are going to be really, really excited. So with that said, would you guys want Ashton Jeanty in the silver and black with the 6th overall pick? I know he has all the traits and all the tools to be that guy for us at the next level. And he definitely would be a luxury pick. Now, would I be mad if we drafted him? No, I wouldn't be mad at all. It just wouldn't be my top priority. It wouldn't be my top option. And I know a lot of people think that I hate on the dude. I don't hate on him. And I'm not one of these guys that are going to come out and say that he's overrated. He's not going to do well in the next level, because I think it's kind of crazy when people already say that these players are going to be busting the league and they haven't even stepped foot in the league just yet. But again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, the last thing I want to kind of touch on is John Spytek talking about the Geno Smith trade and his thoughts on the whole situation.
We were trying to be involved in any possible player movement that there was out there at the quarterback position. And, obviously there's a familiarity with Coach and with Geno from Seattle, and really Geno played his best football for Coach there. And, when you've watched Geno through the years, he can throw the football with the best of any of them, honestly. I mean, you watch some of the throws he makes over and over again, downfield, short, intermediate. The touch is there, the arm strength is there. And, you know, when you have Coach Carroll in your camp and he can swear by the player, the competitor, the worker, you know, the leader, that's a front row seat, or that's information that, you know, if I was still with the Bucs, for instance, we wouldn't have. And, you know, so as we got into it and we evaluated the options in free agency, the other players that maybe were available via trade, you know, ultimately we arrived at a spot where we thought adding Geno made a lot of sense for us. It upgraded the position, in our opinion. The compensation from a draft capital standpoint wasn't so costly. I mean, I love my picks more than anybody, and I got to remind Coach Carroll how much I love picks. But listen, we used the late third round pick to hopefully have our starting quarterback here for years to come, and it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So super excited that Geno's here, and you know, can't wait to see what he can give to our offense.
Now, Spytech said a lot of good things in there, and I totally understand why they went and traded for Geno Smith. I said it before, if Geno Smith was in free agency, I think he'd be the top quarterback alongside of Sam Darnold. There would be a lot of teams lining up to bring in Geno Smith, so I think it was a good move for the Raiders overall, especially giving up a third-round pick for a quarterback that could potentially be the quarterback of the future for at least a couple of years, hopefully, you know, and hopefully at a high level, because he played his best football under Pete Carroll, and hopefully we can replicate that over here in Las Vegas. But the big question that a lot of people has been asking, what's been taking so long with Geno Smith to officially sign with the team and have his press conference at the Raiders facility? Now, there are reports saying that the Raiders and Geno Smith are currently working on a contract extension, which is why it's still taking some time. And there's reports saying that he's going to be getting somewhere around $40 to $45 million per, which to me, I think it's a little bit too much, but it is what it is. We already traded for him. He's already going to be coming over here. But some good news, though. Both parties seem to be optimistic to get a deal done before the season. And according to Albert Breer, he said that I don't think that there's a holdup. It's more of just negotiation. He also added to that saying, I also don't think that the Las Vegas Raiders moved to Lance Smith without a strong feeling that they could find common ground on an extension. The Seattle Seahawks, for their part, felt like they were doing Smith a favor with the trade in that Vegas had a better shot at doing a contract with him than Seattle did. But if you make me guess, I'd say the guarantees are probably what needs to be worked out. Overall, am I worried about Geno Smith possibly not coming to the Raiders and not getting a deal done? No, not at all. I feel like they will get a deal done, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. So with that said, whenever he does announce that he's officially a Las Vegas Raider, I think we can all just relax and just hope for the best this upcoming season. And hopefully this team can put the right pieces around the offense for Geno Smith and this Las Vegas Raiders team to go out there and compete this season. With that being said, Raider Nation, are you guys worried about Geno Smith? Let me know what your thoughts are on everything. And with that being said, until the next video, this your boy, some more Raider, and your boys. Yow!